Development Manager here at ABC Education Group. I'm based in São Paulo, Brazil, and it's a pleasure to have you all here with us today. And today's webinar is focused on one of our incredible boarding schools, Archbishop Riordan High School in San Francisco, California. We have Danny here with us today to tell us all about the school. So thank you, Danny, again for your time and partnership. But before we start talking about Riordan, let me do a quick introduction about ABC Education Group and our services. So talking about USA and starting with boarding programs, we have a guaranteed scholarship programs through scholars and fast track programs, which, by the way, Riordan is part of it. So it's a great opportunity for students to study in the US and amazing boarding schools, very well located. We are accredited with CSIT, and we do offer options of day schools all over the US with homestays placement managed by us here at ABC. And we, of course, have our own boarding house program, our residential houses, which is very, very unique kind of accommodation that we offer here at ABC, and which are exclusive to ABC students from all over the world and managed by us. And we have 3 different locations. We offer a house in Indianapolis, Indiana, 2 houses in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and 1 house in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So 3 great locations, great houses, very comfortable, and great support for our students. We also offer college counseling and summer camps. And one of the options of summer camps we have is in partnership with Riordan. So Danny can tell us more about this incredible option we have in July with the school. And we can't forget about our events. So every year we organize different events, our road shows in Europe, Asia, Africa, Brazil, when we bring our partners to these locations to meet agents and potential students and families. So it's very productive. We have our convention every year. So this year it took place in Mexico. It was great to bring some agents to Mexico and some partner schools to meet. And of course, the fan trips when our agents visit some of our partner schools. And it's always great to visit these schools in person. It makes a lot of difference. And our head office in the US is based in Boston. And talking about UK, we are British Council accredited, and we have several options of high school all over the United Kingdom from both homestay placements and residential options with amazing prices. And we do have several short-term options for young learners looking for an experience during their vacation time, with a special focus on our summer camp in University of Surrey, which is near London. But we have other options. We also have a business camp option, a football option, soccer option. So many different options for different students. And we also offer UK immersion program, which is a high school experience where students can study from 1 to 8 weeks in the United Kingdom. They are placed in a state school in the UK and stay in a host family for students that want to have a short experience. And of course, our head office in the UK is in London. So if you need any information about these programs, more information, details, prices, if you have any potential students, please talk to our team. We are always happy to help. And talking briefly about me, this is me. I've been working in this industry, in the international education industry, since 2008. So it's been a long time. And I worked in many agencies in Brazil, talking directly to students, to families about all kinds of programs. But since 2019, I've been focused on representing high schools in Brazil, mainly high schools in the US. So if you need any help, I'm always around. Here's my email, and you can reach out. So now let's talk about Archbishop Riordan, the start of the day. And if you have any questions, please use the chat box. If you feel it's more comfortable for you, we can read by the end of the presentation. We have a Q&A section, and we can answer all your questions. So Danny, I'll hand it over to you. Would you like to share your screen, or can I keep mine and you just tell me next slide and I'll pass?
Yeah, that's fine. We can keep yours. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to talk about Archbishop Riordan High School. My name is Danny Curtin. I'm the Vice President of Enrollment and Strategy here at Riordan. That's what we call it. If you're in the Bay Area, it's Archbishop Riordan's our official name, but if you go to school here, you just call it Riordan. So because we're the only Riordan in the USA, the only school named that. So I'm a proud graduate of the school. I've been working here, work closely with our local day admissions and our and running our boarding program and boarding admissions as well. So, Andre, if you go to the next slide. Right, that's me there. Born and raised in San Francisco. My brother also went to this school. Started off, I worked at a small college doing some recruiting and sports training, and then started at Riordan and been here ever since. So, you go to the next one as well. A little bit about one more slide. A little bit about who we are. At Riordan High School, it's unique because one, we're in a big city. We're located actually in San Francisco, in a great location. We are 20 minutes from the picture that you see here. And we are 20 minutes from the airport, San Francisco International Airport. We are 15 minutes away from downtown city center. And then we're also a 10-minute train ride to the ocean, right, to the beach line. So we're in an ideal location. Our school itself is located in a very family centric neighborhood, very nice area, a lot of schools. There's a college right across the street, and we kind of have our own corner of a block, and have one of the largest high schools in San Francisco, the second largest private high school in terms of land wise. So we have 1,225 students. 89 of those students are international boarding students. Right, so what we like to think is that students get a nice experience of being in a small boarding program, right, of 89 students, very comfortable. Housing facilities are all located on campus. It's a 2-minute walk to class. It's a 5-minute walk to the fitness center, to the dining hall, and you never even have to leave the building. Right. And so you're part of this program with students from over 21 different countries living with you in community, 2 students per room, everyone has a roommate. But you're also part of this really large, very traditional US high school experience. So it's kind of a good combination of students who kind of want like that day school experience, right, of going to a big school that they kind of see on Netflix and movies, right? When they think about US high school with the big American football games and the school spirit and the lockers and the crowded hallways. And you're going to get all of that at Archbishop Riordan. But you're also going to be able to be a part of a program with other international students who get that extra care and attention and counsel with our dorm staff, and they have their own academic advisor. And so they get a real personal experience as well. So during the daytime, our philosophy, right, is you're a part of a big city, you're a part of a big school, right? And so from the moment you wake up and you begin your day and you go to class and you experience what it's like to be a normal student, right? You're just like every other student who's from San Francisco or the surrounding areas during your school day, right? And then in the evening and weekends, we have a ton of activities and experiences that you get to partake in. And we have a lot of just built-in advantages just because of our geography, right? And who we are and where we are, right? So we're an AP school. We have over 30 AP and honors programs. Most of our AP classes, right, are beginning from grade 10 all the way through. Students can take 3 to 5 APs, so you could really challenge yourself academically and be in a lot of high-end classes and receive that college credit during your time at Riordan. And then you can also take honors courses where, it's more rigorous and it's advanced curriculum, and you can also sit for the AP test at the end of the year as well, right? So students have a lot of opportunities to gain a lot of college credit while they're here, really push themselves academically. And I'll kind of talk a little bit later about like what we offer and how we schedule and all that. But we provide that program for all of our kids here. Another thing that I'll talk about later is, high level year-round athletics, right? For students who want to play sports, it doesn't matter what sport it is, the ones that we offer, um, you'll be able to partake in it the whole time you're here, right? We have our school season, playing a very high level, very competitive league. But then also during the off season, we have a lot of club partnerships that I'll discuss. Excellent performing arts program, right, for students. And, we're graded A+ on niche. And I think the best thing for you all to know is that when a student comes to school here, when they're participating here, is that they love their experience, right? We have very, very few students who say, I come to Riordan and I'm just not happy, right? Or I'm not feeling fulfilled or something like that, because there's something for everyone, right? And I think the personal experience, the availability of a ton of different programs and classes and opportunities and where we are really makes for happy kids. You go on to the next slide, Andrea. Academics, right? We're college prep high school, meaning that every single course that you take at Riordan goes towards your diploma, right? And getting into, we base off the UC system. Last year, a cool stat is that Archbishop Riordan, and I think I have this on another slide, but Archbishop Riordan had the highest acceptance rate out of private schools in San Francisco to tier one UCs. That's UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC Irvine, UC Santa Barbara. Almost twice the national average in acceptance rate from our graduating seniors, right? So some really great stats. I think it starts really in that academic experience. When students come here, the courses that they select, the courses that they get put into, are customized to what they need, right? And what they want to study within the realm of, meeting all of our requirements as well. So every single international student who's accepted to Riordan meets with their advisor before they ever step foot on campus. So the student and the parents have a Zoom with our academic advisor, and he goes over with them, hey, here's the class options. Do you need to take APs? Country specific requirements, right? If a student's from Italy and they have very specific classes they have to take, or from Spain, right? We can match those needs. We offer over 100 different courses here at Riordan, right? So they have that opportunity to take the classes that they want, to take AP and honors program, right? For classes that they maybe aren't as strong in, we also have opportunities for them to get the kind of support that they need academically. Students here, speaking of that kind of academic support and personalized learning, every student has an opportunity to take a kind of like a study class during their day, where they could go to subject specific classrooms and get help academically to make sure that they're getting what they need in terms of support. A lot of we don't have a intensive ESL program, right? So for students who still maybe aren't as strong in English, right, we provide every single day they can go to a classroom and get help on writing, grammar, right, and reading comprehension, English skills. And that could be, and there's no additional charge to that. It's just kind of built into their schedule, right? So it's not something that, oh, I have to sacrifice some after school opportunities because I got to go get English help, right? It's built into their school day, right? And that's provided for students at every single grade level. Another thing that we're seeing is the kind of proven outcomes of academic excellence, meaning students are coming here and they're exceeding their academic goals. They feel like they're getting fulfilled. They feel like they're getting the support they need. And so now what we're noticing is a lot of students are really pushing themselves to, each year that they're here, right, to take more challenging classes, right, to add on an additional AP or honors course. And I think part of it is because of how we do our schedule. Riordan is very different in terms of how we schedule our classes, right? Most students in the USA who go to high school take 6 to 7 academic classes a year. Same thing here at Riordan. Most students take 7 academic classes, some take 8, some take 6, but instead of them taking them year round, right, meaning they have the same classes from August to May, we split it into semester-based systems. It's the same as university style, right? When you go to college in the US, you're not taking 7 classes at once, right? If you're in the quarter system, you're taking, 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 academic classes per quarter. If you're in a semester-based university, you're taking 3 to 4 classes each semester, right? Same thing at Riordan. You're coming here, you're taking 3 or 4 academic classes. You meet every single day in those classes. You take your final in December. You come back from Christmas break in January and you have a new set of 3 or 4 classes, right? So we call it a 4x4 schedule. It allows students to focus on a smaller amount of classes, right? They're not managing their schedule. And when you're an international student, you're not even used to moving from classroom to classroom, right? And trying to, hey, actually, I have sports at school now and I'm in the play, right? So I have auditions every single day now in the fall. But I can't even manage my own time, right? It's just an overwhelming aspect for a lot of kids. And it doesn't matter if you're an international kid, it doesn't matter if you're a local student. All the kids here, what they get to do is they get to say, I know at least I have consistency in my academic schedule. I take the same classes every single day, right? I see the same teachers, I have the same routine, and it allows for that kind of peace of mind to focus on a smaller amount of classes, right? It's a little bit more fast paced. It could be a little bit more rigorous and demanding in the classroom, but they're not managing a million different things at once. So now they're more willing to go and try different activities after school because they don't feel like they're overwhelmed by their calendar. So we really like this program, the 4x4. A lot of schools consult us and are implementing it into their curriculum because of this kind of student happiness and student success that we see in surveying our students as well. Another cool thing that we do academically is provide specialty programs, right? So we have biomedicine, honors computer engineering, and business marketing. And what that means is that students take 1 or 2 specialty academic classes in those kind of majors, right? Specific topics. So if a student is really interested in becoming a doctor, right? Or they want to work at kind of, biologist or study science deeply. This biomedicine program, which is our biggest specialty program, is basically what you do is 1 or 2 academic classes per year are biomedicine specific. So they do human body systems, they learn about medical instruments and tools, they do forensic analysis, they do bio honors, right? So these classes, kids feel like they have meaning. It's like they get to finally choose something that they really, really like to study. But it doesn't replace any other classes. It doesn't affect your schedule. It's just an opportunity for you to deep dive into a subject that you're super passionate about. The next one, probably our most rigorous one, most difficult one, is our honors computer engineering. This one is also very popular, especially amongst international students, where it's just 4 years of classes designed for computer and mechanical engineering, right? So students are doing robotics, 3D print and design, laser print and design, programming, computer science, AP computer programming, AP computer science. So they're building, they're creating. And this one is a little bit different. It's very, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, it's the tech capital of the world, right? So it's constantly evolving, right? We've implemented AI lessons into the class, meaning like we're actually learning on, building our own models of artificial intelligence, and students can do also like an aspect of kind of architecture and civil engineering, right? If they like working a little bit more with their hands. But these programs here, engineering and biomedicine, have been around for a few years, and we've seen great college acceptance rates too from the graduates from those programs. Some of the top engineering schools, talking Columbia, Caltech, USC, Cal Poly, all these major engineering schools, we're seeing students matriculate to after Riordan. And then biomedicine, also an excellent program. And our last 3 valedictorians were a part of one of the 2 programs. And then the newest one we have is business and marketing. And this is where students get to essentially create their own business plan. They get to learn about marketing. They get to learn about accounting, finance, forecasting. And then they also do the part they probably like the most is, right, like social media and branding and digital marketing and things that are relevant to them, right? And how they can utilize social media to build their brand and build their business, right? A cool thing that we do for each of these programs at the end of their senior year, for the last part of the program, they do a capstone, meaning that they create their own project, right? So they don't meet with the teacher, every single day during academic class. Instead, they get built-in study time to kind of build and create on their own, and then they present to different people in the industry. So for biomedicine, we had a good group of alumni who work at Genentech, who's one of the biggest biotech companies in the world. And they came in and they met with our students and worked with them on their projects, and the students got to present to them. And then for engineering, you see all types of creations. In business and marketing, they develop a business plan, develop a business, and then try to sell it, kind of like Shark Tank style. Yeah, students do need to indicate interest before they come to Riordan for one of these programs. I always save spots for international students to join the program. So it's something that when our academic advisor meets with them in the spring before they enroll, or in the summer before they enroll, he kind of goes over like, hey, are you interested in any of these programs? And how could I work with them in their schedule, right? So we have seen those students come here for a year and then they're like, wait, I really wish I would have done it and I didn't do it the first time, right? And there's ways for us to work in some of those classes as electives for kids. Elective choices, right? Electives are huge. It's a cool thing that our international kids are really obsessed with, right? Is like, hey, I get to pick whatever classes I want, right? So you have these 2 or 3 classes every year, and these are just some of them that we offer. So a lot of it is like more on the creative side. The dance and acting, those are performance-based classes where you need no experience. We have a high level artists here, right? So they could take up to AP art. We have digital video programming. We have our own TV studio and here on campus that we live stream a YouTube show every day. It's very popular. But yeah, so then students every year get the choice of electives. All right, Andre, you can go to the next slide. Athletics and arts, right? This is, I don't know what happened with the copy and paste there. But athletics and arts are obviously, a big draw to our school in particular. We have a lot of different athletic programs that we offer at all different types of levels. So you might have some students that, they love basketball. It's very difficult to make the basketball team here at Archbishop Riordan. We have, a lot of students who go on to play university, top 25 in the United States, right? So those are the type of, but we also offer opportunities for club teams, right? Or in junior varsity teams. And we have intramural programs, right? Where students can still play the sport they'd like, but maybe they're not, on the level of our kids. But then you're also going to get kids who are national team level players, right? Who they're super passionate about any of these sports. And they're saying, hey, I want to go to a school where I don't want to drop in quality of my training and right. And parents and students are very serious about sports now. Right. So a lot of students come to our school specifically because not only will they not have that drop off, but they'll actually kind of level up in terms of their training and their workouts and the kind of opportunities that we provide. In the graduating class of 2025, we had 14 students receive Division I scholarships, right? You asked a question about gymnastics. No, what we do is we partner. We have a local gymnastics club that is very close to campus. We had one student, class of 2024, who received full athletic gymnastics scholarship, and she trained out of this facility. And the guy who owns the facility is a graduate of our school. So he works with students who have gymnastics, right? There's certain like we've had ballerinas, gymnastics, like kind of those kind of more little niche programs. The good thing about Riordan is that we have an opportunity for all those programs within 15 minutes of our school, right? The family will have to commit to, it's hard. It's hard for our dorm staff to get them to every single training and practice. So the family does have to commit to using Uber. Or all of our kids, they don't use Uber here anymore though, guys. We have all the self-driving cars. It's only Waymo now. So they just get in their self-driving car and go to their trainings now, and it's cheaper. So yeah, so that's something that we do offer. But for all of these sports that I list on here, we have club opportunities year round for every single one, right? So no, it doesn't matter if you are a runner, if you wrestle, play soccer, right? There's partner programs where you could get year-round training. We also offer, we don't offer water polo. Yeah, we don't offer water polo. That's it. We don't have a pool here on campus. So our swim team practices, I mean, it's right across the street. It's like a 7-minute walk. But in the, so we don't have water polo. It is a big sport out here, but we don't participate in it. So yeah, so we have, all these different opportunities for kids to play at all different types of levels. Like I said, we have an intramural program too, where basically students get to kind of participate on their own with their friends and play sports that they like as well, right? If they don't want to make the team or try out. And then we have a fitness center, right? So our boarding students every single day have access to sports performance training and year-round athletic training with weight coaches and into fitness and health. And he builds out customized workouts for all of our international students. So if they get to stay in shape and feel involved. For performing arts, right, we have 2 major theater productions each year. We have the largest high school theater in Northern California. So we just got done with our fall play, and then we do a spring musical. This year we have 3 boarding students who are involved in the fall play, and then 5 students who are in the spring musical. So students who are into the arts, right? It's a great school for that, and they get to take it as an academic class, right? So you can also take acting as a class. Like if you're really passionate about it, you could do it as well. And then we have
sorry for interrupting, but
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting. If you're not speaking, please mute your microphone. I've tried to mute
Einer unserer
myself.
Chemiker, Herr Reithofer, hat zugegeben, mit einer Chemikerin der Konkurrenzfirma liiert zu sein.
Yes,
Sie denken also, dass der Herr Reithofer dieser Chemikerin die Internas verraten hat?
Er hat natürlich nicht zugegeben.
I don't know where this is coming
Wir haben kein Wort geglaubt, wir haben ihn sofort gekriegt.
from. I'm trying to mute everyone as well.
Vor 3 Wochen.
Vor 3 Wochen. Ja, dann hätte dieser Herr Reithofer ja durchaus
Yeah,
ein Motiv,
go
sich
on,
hinaus-
Daniel.
All right.
Let's try to figure it out here.
the mysterious. Everyone's mic's off. I don't know how they did.
Yes, I don't know where it's coming from.
Wir würden uns
Right. So another thing about the performing arts program is our dance team. So we have a year-round dance team where they're doing modern contemporary hip hop dance, and it's a big program. There's about 40 students involved in dance. They perform at all of our football games, basketball, and big events. They do different concerts and performances in our school theater, student performances. But it's a big program for dance team. We have 6 boarding students who are on our dance team right now. So performing arts, athletics, these are year-round programs. I will say for any of these, they're serious programs, right? They involve time commitment. It doesn't matter if it's performing arts or it's athletics. We have students who, when they join these programs, like there's a time commitment, they have to go after school, right? And these programs are built into their day. But the students who are a part of it, they never quit, they never drop it, right? And they feel super connected to that aspect. So those are big things that we offer here at Riordan in terms of the extracurricular involvement. Now, I didn't even include clubs on here, which are all the student-based activities. We have 50 plus clubs. We have a huge club rush in the beginning of the year where students get to go and sign up and join different student-led interest groups, right? Music clubs, comedy, movie, drawing, reading, cultural clubs, food clubs, right? And that's a big aspect of their day-to-day life as well. You could go on, Andrea, to the next one. Right. I kind of mentioned this briefly earlier, and I'll go through this, is the proven outcome, right? 74 students from the class of 2025 were accepted to and enrolled in the UC system, right, out of 298 graduates. Like I said, the highest UC acceptance rate among private schools in San Francisco. Something that we're super proud of. 17% of those students were admitted into the tier one universities, right, which are very, very difficult to get into. I just saw a stat that UCLA, right, had 160,000 applications. And we're proud to say at Riordan that we had 9 students matriculate there, enroll, not get accepted, just enroll in there in the freshman class, right? So out of 298 kids, so that's a really good rate. And also, you know, you can see some of the other universities here. These are colleges that the students graduated from, and included in the Berkeley, UCLA, Irvine, NYU, Barnard, and University of Virginia were all international boarding students, right? So it's a really cool program that we offer. 3 out of the 14 students that received athletic scholarships were also part of our boarding program. So students who come here who want to go to diploma, who want to go to the U.S. university system, you know, it's a great pathway, right, to get into the top UCs. And we have a lot of partnerships with all different private universities and public universities across the country. We can go on to the next slide. This is a video. I don't know if it will work or not. No audio. We put really cool music to it. You can't hear it, but you get to see some of our classroom spaces. I think you're muted, Andre.
Sorry, I was muted. I will share again, including sound, because
You gotta have the sound, otherwise it loses its effect.
you'll be able to hear the music. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we stole the Interstellar soundtrack for that one.
Good choice.
Wong took that straight away.
I know.
I have to ask who won between the students and the teachers, because now you piqued my interest.
The teachers won. The teachers won, but
really, because on the
I
board
might
it
have bullied
said
the referees into
students
giving us an advantage.
13 teachers 12 there on the board in the video, so I don't know about that.
It was a controversial ending, but the teachers won.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, a little bit of just, the student life, the campus, and it's a high energy school, and I tell people that a lot. Like, the students that find the most success here are the ones who want to be involved in the big school feel, right? The ones who like being around others, who like that community aspect. And then we see a lot of success in those other areas, academically, athletically, in the arts, and the happiness, college matriculation, is when they feel included with the community and the type of culture that we have at Riordan. It's a big city school. It's like I said, it's a high energy school, so that's kind of what they have to want to seek when they're thinking about their boarding school experience. But happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Danny. So before we answer any questions, can you talk real quick about the summer program we have with Riordan? I think it's very nice for everyone to know as well.
Yeah, so our summer program was awesome this year. What students did was they participated in our normal summer programming, right? So we had over 200 local students here. And so the boarding students got to participate where they were a part of some of the structured day with the with the local students, and then they got to choose an elective in the afternoon. So we offered arts, we offered sports, and we offered like a cool different type of academic classes. And so they got to participate in that. They got to build their own little schedule. And they did that from basically 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. And then we had some after school activity. So we went down to Stanford University. We took the students, to different parts of the Bay Area, the Golden Gate Bridge. So they got to do some tourist stuff. They got to do some academic work. They got to mingle and socialize with local students. And I think they had a really great experience. And one of the students who was in the summer program, she applied right away, right, and is joining us in January.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's great.
That's great.